Every morning just before the sun rose, an old beggar named Sam sat by the iron gate of a grand mansion. His back was crooked, his hands were worn, and his clothes told the story of someone long forgotten by luck. Yet his eyes, those deep, tired eyes, still carried a quiet spark, like he was waiting for something or someone. The mansion belonged to Mr. Hargrave, a wealthy man known for his success in solitude. He rarely stepped outside and never spoke to anyone below his status. The townspeople whispered about his past. Some said he built his fortune on broken promises. Others claimed he simply got lucky. Either way, he lived behind tall walls, untouched by the world outside. Sam had been sitting outside that mansion for years. Rain, snow, or sunshine, it didn't matter. He never begged loudly. He just sat, silently, with a tin cup at his side and a faraway look in his eyes. Most days, people ignored him. A few dropped coins without making eye contact. But never once did Mr. Hargrave acknowledge his presence. One cold Thursday morning, something strange happened. As the sky shifted from dark blue to orange, the heavy front door creaked open. A young girl no more than 8 stepped out. She had curly hair, bright eyes, and wore a yellow dress. She looked straight at Sam and tilted her head. "Do you live here?" she asked. Sam blinked, surprise. "No, sweet girl, I live out here." She frowned. "That doesn't sound fun." He chuckled softly. "It's not, but the mornings are kind." She sat on the steps, close but cautious. "I'm Lily. My grandpa says not to talk to strangers, but you don't look scary." "That's a relief," Sam smiled. "I'm Sam. Just Sam." From that day on, Lily came out every morning. She'd bring an apple, a cookie, or just her chatter. Sam listened like her words were gold. For the first time in years, he smiled every day. And inside the mansion, behind a tall window, Mr. Hargrave began to notice. He watched silently, his face unreadable. But something inside him stirred. Mr. Hargrave had never paid attention to the world beyond his manicured lawn. But now, each morning, he found himself by the window, watching the unlikely friendship grow between his granddaughter and the old beggar. He told himself it was foolish curiosity, nothing more. Yet each day he stood a little longer. Inside the mansion, silence was king. After his daughter passed away, Hargrave had taken in Lily, but grief had turned him cold. He provided everything: clothes, toys, a room filled with books, but never his heart. The little girl's laughter outside with Sam sounded like a language he had forgotten. One morning, Lily didn't appear at the usual time. Sam waited, hands resting on his knees, eyes scanning the door. Minutes passed, then an hour. Still nothing. Just when he was about to leave, the door swung open. But it wasn't Lily, it was Mr. Hargrave. He stepped out in a long coat, polished shoes crunching the gravel path. Sam stood up slowly, unsure. The two men locked eyes. For the first time in years, Hargrave really saw the man who had sat outside his home all this time. "I suppose I owe you a word," Hargrave said stiffly. "You owe me nothing," Sir Sam replied calmly. Hargrave glanced away, then back. "She talks about you all the time." "Lily says you're her sunrise friend," Sam smiled. "She's a bright one." Hargrave nodded, then hesitated. "She's sick today. Nothing serious. Just a fever. I figured something was off." Sam said, "She's got a rhythm?" There was a long pause. Hargrave shifted uncomfortably. "She wants to see you." "Inside?" Sam raised his eyebrows. "Inside the house?" "She insists," Hargrave muttered. "Won't eat unless you come." Sam looked at the gate, then at the man. The house had always been a symbol of walls between wealth and want, comfort and struggle. He never imagined stepping through its doors. "Are you sure?" Sam asked gently. "I'm not," Hargrave admitted, "but she is." The two men stood silently for a moment. Then slowly, Hargrave turned and walked toward the house. After a beat, Sam followed, his footsteps careful on the stone path. For the first time, the gate closed behind him. The hallway inside the mansion was warm and filled with the scent of cinnamon and old books. Sam's footsteps echoed softly as he followed Mr. Hargrave through rooms lined with polished wood and silent portraits. Everything looked expensive, but none of it felt alive. At the end of a hallway, a soft voice called out, "Grandpa, is he here?" Hargrave opened a door gently. "He's here." Lily Sam stepped into a bright room with tall windows and sunlight pooling on the floor. Lily sat up in bed, her cheeks flushed from fever, but her eyes lit up the moment she saw him. "You came," she said, beaming. Sam tipped his hat. "Wouldn't miss it for the world." She patted the bed beside her. "Come sit. I saved you a spot." Hargrave raised an eyebrow but said nothing as Sam settled carefully beside her. The old man lingered near the door, watching. For once, he wasn't sure what role to play. "Tell me a story," Lily whispered. Curling into the blanket, Sam glanced at Hargrave, then back at her. "All right, but only if you promise to rest." Lily nodded, so Sam began. His voice, worn and gravelly, carried the rhythm of a storyteller. He spoke of a girl with a golden heart and a crooked old man who searched the world for kindness. The story twisted through forests, stars, and distant lands, but always returned to a simple bench and the rising sun. Lily's eyes fluttered with sleep. She clutched Sam's hand gently, drifting off with a smile. Sam looked up to find Mr. Hargrave still there, arms crossed, face unreadable. "She adores you," Hargrave said quietly. "She saved me," Sam replied. "You may think she gave me cookies and conversation, but what she gave me was a reason." Hargrave looked down. "I didn't think someone like you would matter," Sam finished, not unkindly. "Most people don't, but Lily does." The silence between them was heavier now, not with judgment, but with realization. "You hungry?" Hargrave asked suddenly. Sam blinked. "Pardon. There's soup in the kitchen. I think Lily would want you to stay." Sam stood slowly. "Only if you're sure." Hargrave nodded. "I'm not sure of much these days, but I'm trying." And that was enough for now. Days turned into weeks, and the old mansion that once echoed with silence began to fill with laughter, footsteps, and the hum of something long missing life. Sam became more than a visitor. He was family now, though no one ever said it out loud. It showed in the way Lily waited for him by the window, in how Hargrave poured him coffee without asking, and in the quiet dinners they sometimes shared without saying much at all. Lily's fever passed, and with it, something else softened in Hargrave. He started opening his doors first to Sam, then to others. A neighbor in need of help fixing a fence. A young boy delivering groceries who stayed for hot cocoa. The gates that had guarded his home for decades now opened often, sometimes left wide without him even noticing. One evening, Sam sat on the porch swing, watching the sky turn purple behind the trees. Hargrave joined him, carrying 2 mugs, chamomile, he said. "Lily's idea." Sam took the mug with a grin. "That girl's got taste." They sat in companionable silence until Hargrave finally spoke. "Do you know why I never noticed you all those years?" Sam sipped slowly. "Because you didn't want to." Hargrave nodded. "I was angry at the world. Thought money would shield me from everything. But grief doesn't care how tall your walls are." Sam looked out at the fading light. Pain isolates, but kindness connects. A car passed by slowly, its headlights briefly painting the old oak tree across the yard. Lily's laughter rang from inside the house. "I think she fixed us both," Hargrave said. Sam chuckled. "She just reminded us what being human feels like." That winter, Sam moved into the cottage at the edge of the property, not as a guest, but as someone who belonged. His days of sitting on cold concrete were over, replaced by warm meals, stories by the fire, and family dinners where someone always saved him the last biscuit. People in town stopped calling Hargrave the cold rich man. They spoke of the little girl who softened a fortress, the beggar who walked through its doors, and how sometimes the most unexpected friendships heal the deepest wounds. And every morning as the sun rose, Sam still sat outside, but now on a porch swing, coffee in hand, with Lily beside him, and no gate between him and the world. Because home had found him.